fellow L60 diesels. So this week we are supposed to be Morris 8 Series E-ing, but due to the fact that the weather's horrible and I don't really want the thing to get wet because I'm going to have to get it out of where it has been for the last 10 years, and the fact that also it had slipped my mind that I'm going to need a functional 6-volt battery, which I haven't got. So I've ordered a 6-volt battery, and I will get back to it within the next couple of weeks once everything's turned up, and hopefully we can get it out on a nice dry day. So what I've decided to do this week, as everyone's been asking about it, is have a go at the Astra van, not an Astra Max, Astra van, apparently. I got told off for that last week. So we're going to see if we can kick this into life. Now, it's been parked here for a few years. I reckon, being a 1.7 diesel, or Zub engine, I think it was, the likelihood of it started is fairly high, and then we'll work from there. So what I'm going to do now is give you a quick tour of said Astra Max before we start delving into well, with mechanicals and seeing if we can get it to start. Right, so here goes. Basically, J-Reg 91 1.7 non-turbo diesel Astra van. Last showing taxed on the screen over here in 2013, and its MOT ran out at about the same time. I have a feeling it's been growing ever since. Got the standard Vauxhall Astra falling off wheel arches. Does have, it's obviously been abroad, that's amazing. Same on this side, and as you can see, I think we might need to do a bit of washing if we can get it to go. So in here, cobwebs and spiders, always cobwebs and spiders. So showing the heady height of 183,336 miles. Spiderage, lots and lots of spiderage. One thing that is quite cool, let me just pan in down here. Now look at that. It's like a whole mini ecosystem growing on the carpet in here. But unbelievably, oh yeah, no, oh it's a bit, yeah, that's a bit squidgy. There's a bit of water in that. Seats are in it. Don't look too bad. There's another one of the original hubcaps over there. The rear view mirror seems to have detached itself, and in the back is, it's not bad, got some paint tins and an engine lid for a Peugeot HDI. She's obviously top quality manual. We've got keys in it and the ignition turns, so that's a start. Unsurprisingly, the battery will be as dead as a dodo, and either something's eaten the steering wheel or it's fell off. She's a bit grubby. It's got some top quality roof bars on it. One thing I did notice, it's even got a tow bar. Must have been open a bit. Anyway, let's go and open the bonnet and see what lurks under here. There's the bonnet release. Don't let's work a prop on it on your head first. Oh, lots of spiderage. Where's the bonnet thing? Right. Oh my God, we've got some spiderage under here. A Nissan Renault battery that's older than Christ on a bike. Anyway, it looks to be all here. So, I reckon the best bet is to get, I mean, we can't really tell the condition of the cam belt. I think we need to open the airbox up, check there's no mice living in there, and check its vitals. And everyone's going to tell me off, but we're probably just going to have to get char in on it and see if she cracks off. So here goes, 1.7. Sure, it's an Isuzu diesel. Please tell me if I'm wrong, but I always thought they were an Isuzu diesel. I've managed to pop the airbox clips off already, and then I think if I char on this a bit like that, comes out of here. And now we are mouse free in the airbox. We'll just put this beautiful, clean, low mileage air filter back in for a minute. We'll just pretend we didn't see that. So, it'll run. Fine. I'll try and get that back on there. That one. Come on. No, I'm going to have it on. Come on. Right, that's 2 clips a minute. That'll be good enough. Check the oils. Oh, it's a bit disappointing. So, I'll be able to see. It's showing up as last MOT'd 2012, running out in 2013. Now there is something black on the bottom of that stick, but it should be. So I think we'll attend to that first. I did bring some oil with me because I had a fair feeling the possibility we've got coolant. It's pretty mangy looking, but it's in there. So, oh my lord, I've been off for a while. Yeah, it's a bit dirty. Right, 1030 diesel oil, that should do it. Ignore the can, because obviously we buy everything in massive great drums, bulk. So I'll give it a bit of a hope. It won't hurt it. It's probably going to go into deep shock now. Hasn't done much either. Probably about a litre short, I reckon. Go on, let's down the lot. That'll cheer you up, won't it? Store that over there. Right. Well, that's better. I'm sort of, right, at least on the minimum mark. No, yeah, right, that's good. We now have oil. So, I think if I try hard enough, I mean, normally you'd like to turn these things over at a full revolution first, but we are definitely free. Yeah. Right. So what I'm going to try now is I'm going to clip that big battery pack there on it, and then we'll see if we get any lights and hopefully no fire. 1, 2. No, we're all right. There's no massive amounts of sparkage. Won't even considered the possibility of the seat being damp, but I will sat in it now. Oh, well, we've got a heat plug light and an alternator light, and we're out gear. All right, let me give it. Shall we try and see? We'll see what happens. Absolutely nothing. No, that's definitely a stuck starter motor, isn't it? Right, I think we're going to go and need to beat on it a bit. It's a Renault battery from, hasn't got a first charge date on it that I can see. It's probably not helping, so we're going to just throw that over there. And drag this one in I made earlier. So hooking this up. Yep, that sounds clicky. We've got to go and see if we can find a starter motor, which I think is buried down there. So technical starter motor adjusting tool. We'll have a bit of a beat on that. So we can shock it back into life. Go and see if it turns over now. No, absolutely nothing. Good, isn't it? Really helpful. Right, so after lots of leaning down the back of an engine, squashing of bellies and swearing, which obviously won't hear on camera, there is said starter motor, which I'm reckoning doesn't work. But the motory bit works, but when you attempt throwing the solenoid, yeah, and then that bit doesn't work. So I think the best bet, if possible, next is to try and see if we can sort of beat on it a bit more and see if it comes back to life. Once I've found my screwdriver. I don't know my screwdriver. Honestly, needs more stuff than I ever have. Right. So after a bit of bench-based beating, stripping, cleaning, coming back and back here again, the solenoid had ceased solid. So now that'll be a working starter motor. A bit weak, but it's got to. Right, so that's the starter motor refitted. Which is, see, you know, it's not too bad actually. 2 bolts jammed right down the back of the manifold. Anyone watching would have noticed that it had a support bracket and a tin guard on it. I'll put that back on for a minute, just in case it doesn't crack off. And if it does crack off, it's going to need to come out of here, get loaded and put on a lorry. So I'll pull that on the passenger seat and put it back on a ramp at my place. Well, it'll take 5 minutes, rather than it take me 20 minutes to lean in my slight chubby ass down there. So we are to the point. In theory, if we connect a battery, give it a bit of extra hope in the jump start pack, it might turn over. Right, so Astra attempted start number 4, or whatever it is. Battery pack is on, starter motor is on and functions. Clip that back in there. I think that's good to go. Right, see what happens. Remember, the seat's damp. Damp seat. Seat's damp. Ugh. Right, heaty. Come on. Right, so we went and got another battery. This one is all charged up off a lorry, off another lorry down at my place. We have heat, we have fuel, I think. I might just crack an injector. And then we're going to try again. My lord, for something I shouldn't have said, this will start easily. Because it won't. Definitely won't. It's a bit more promising. Right, so I've spent ages bringing it over. I've got fuel coming out of all 4 of the injectors. I've got my temporary tank rigged up because the fuel line to the tank, as I showed you a second ago, is rubbish. I've reconnected the engine box. We've got a 4th time charged battery, and I'm pretty sure that this thing will go. I'm going to crank it over now, and I reckon it'll crack off. And hopefully it'll crack off and stay cracked off. Tell you what happens, I've had enough of this van. Almost. Come on, you little. Bit about squeak. Clear its throat a bit. Tick over? Yes, it's going to tick over. Hello! So basically, find this spanner, the screwdriver. The fuel line to the tank is obviously blocked. I expect the pickup sock in the tank's gone really manky. But, so, DC's the starter motor, sort the electrics out, I think she's going to stay going. Obviously, we're running off a gallon of fuel at the moment, but the return will be going back in the tank, so we've got a limited amount of time. But oh, it's running. It is running. So we'll keep at it a minute and see if we can keep it going and see if we can move it. Right, I've had to quickly rethink my fuel supply because my Bedford hose has got more holes in it than a penny. So we've just quickly, literally plumbed it straight into a clean fuel can without a filter. This is sat here ticking over. So what I want to do now is go around. Unbelievably, so we're not really smoking. And then we need to see if we've got. Let me just clear it up after we see if I've got a clutch and some brakes, and whether she's actually going to move. Well, finally, let's say it ticking over. So what we're going to do now, see if it moves, back it backwards and forwards, and then we'll get it loaded up. In the next couple of weeks, it won't be next week because next week I'm in France. You'll see that next week. We've got something to pick up. We'll get this washed off, the fuel tank freed off, a good battery put on it, and then we'll do the same as we always do, because everyone keeps texting me, emailing me, is the Astra van for sale? Is the Astra van for sale? Is the Astra van for sale? Yes, the Astra van is for sale. It's not mine. So, fairest way, eBay, 99p, no reserve, way she goes, same as always. So, we're going to move it now, and then, not this week, but the week after. There's something interesting coming this week coming, but the week after that, I will come back and get this, take it to the yard, wash it off, we'll lift it up, and we'll see what's left of it, and then you know, if you want to bid on it on eBay, what you're buying. So I'm going to see now if it's got a clutch and if it moves. Right, so that's me done Vauxhalling, I think, for this week. Let's be honest, if the starter motor had not seized solid and the fuel line in the tank hadn't blocked up due to being sat here for, I reckon, at least 7 years, and I think it was parked at our place for 2 years previous to that, this thing probably would have started straight up. So, good little Astra van for someone, not for me. I'm going to leave this one here this week, as I say. So, next week, I've got to drop a friend of mine back to the south of France, or central southern France. And I've also got to pick a car up for a friend of mine that's been sat out there in a shed for an awfully long time, a British one, and bring it back here as part of the deal. So, so I will video that, us roaring across Europe, roaring back again, and you can see us rescue this wagon. I'll tell you what it is at the time, obviously. So then the week after that, we're going to get this in, get this washed off, and then we're going to go back to the 2 vintage cars. Now, one thing I am going to do is grab my phone, and I'm going to show you something that's sat over there, and I'm going to let you guess if you can figure out what used to be. So here we go. It's one of the most destroyed. Hang on a minute, let me just clean my phone then, because I've got dings on it. So here we go. Now, my friend picked this up, not for it was sort of one lump. There's some spares for one of these vehicles. He wanted one particular bit. Now, I will give a full bag of Scooby snacks to anyone who can tell me what this pile of stuff used to be. That light is the utter giveaway, and I'll give you a hint. It's rear engined and air cooled. I'll even tell you it had a flat 6 in it. That's what we wanted, and that wasn't in, well, it was in pretty bad nick. and the rest of it, we managed to get this on a lorry about 6 years ago. I whiz round here, there's the wheel stud pattern, and there's the front fog lamps. We didn't ruin it ourselves, it was beyond saving when we got it, as you can see. There's the seats. Right, so that's me signing off. I've spent an awfully large amount of time on this van this week, and I've really got to go and get some work done. So I'm sorry it's a couple of days late, but it was still not going to go Saturday. He didn't want to go Sunday morning. So, like, tag, subscribe, shine, follow, whatever all that stuff is. I'm not really, motorisation stuff. But if you're enjoying this, comment below, tag, share, blah, blah, blah. And we might have a go at the XM in the next couple of weeks. As everyone says, don't bother with Fiesta. Seems a bit sad, really. They weren't bad little cars. Anyway, I'm going to pack my tools up, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Vauxhall 16.